Welcome to the Tipsy Florida Beekeeper channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my cherry wine and how I make my grape wine. Today I am drinking right now Jim Beam's Devil Cut because, I'm out of wine. That's why I'm making more wine. So today I'm drinking whiskey. Alright, first things first, if you're new to making your own wine and beer or whatever it is that you're getting into, or you're just watching this for the fun of it, it truly does not have to be an expensive hobby to make your own wine. Literally, at the end of the day, to make your own wine, you can take this jar of grape juice from Walmart for $4.98, a balloon, and a pack of yeast off of Amazon, and those packets of yeast, one package makes 5 gallons. So the balloon, grape juice, and the yeast cost you like $10 on your first go, and then from there on out you're at $5 a gallon for a gallon of wine, and that's it. That's all it costs you. This is not my super fancy way of making wine, because it all depends on what you're going for. Like, they make these really cool airlocks that you fill with water to keep air from coming back in as the gas is released. There's big guys that are going to show you videos of dunking all your stuff in Star Sands and bleach and all these other chemicals to get everything absolutely clean so that it won't kill any of your yeast or anything like that before you move on and do your next step. And I'll show a video like that when I have some really good ingredients. But that's when you're making a high quality wine or high quality mead. Personally, I'm just making a jug of something to get drunk on. That's what I'm doing. So everything inside these containers are sanitized in the first place. So there's no need to dunk all of it in a whole bunch of different things. Second, you can buy these 1 gallon carboys off of Amazon for, I think you get 2 of them. The prices range anywhere from $15.99 to $21.99, somewhere around that. And you get 2 in a case. Or you can go down to your Walmart, buy a almost 1 gallon jug of Carlo Rossi wine for $12.50, and it comes with a gallon of wine. And then when you're done, you can reuse the bottle just like this. I've got soap and water and they're rinsing it out. So there's no need to go to Amazon and buy these really expensive jugs. You can go to Walmart and buy really nice glass jugs that come with a lid and everything and come with a gallon of wine. So that would be my little piece of advice instead of spending your money on these, which I did a couple of times before I figured out, hey, just buy wine. So, to get going, today's cherry wine. I like my wine sweet. I don't like it dry. Not only that, but I like a high alcohol content. So the more sugar you put in there, the better the yeast, the higher the alcohol content. I use the Red Star packages off of Amazon. You get 20 packets for, I think it's like $10.99. Each packet makes 5 gallons of wine, and it will deliver an alcohol content between 15 to 18%. So for wine, that's really good in my opinion. So start out with your giant bag of sugar, and you gotta take a sip because you gotta take a sip. Start out with your giant bag of sugar. Little funnel, again, kids just washed it. It's good to go. 1 cup of sugar. You could add more sugar, but for this yeast that we're using, the Red Star and the red packet, it's not going to be able to eat all of that sugar. So your wine's going to be still sweet. If you add more sugar, it's going to be even sweeter, which I've found my balance of what I like. And so again, you play with it how sweet and dry you want yours. You can not add any sugar whatsoever, and the yeast is just going to spend its time eating the natural sugar that comes with it and the sugar from the cherries that I'm going to add it. But your wine's going to come out a little bit drier because the yeast is going to eat all those sugars up. If anybody doesn't know how alcohol is made, the yeast eats the sugars. The byproduct of the yeast is alcohol. So that's how you get alcohol. Next, you want to pour in your juice, which this is just 100% juice, cherry juice. Again, I bought it from Walmart. It's fantastic stuff. It's super cheap. I try not to fill it all the way up because you want to take and mix it up. Now, some people will tell you, oh, you don't have to mix it up. The yeast will find its way, which it will. The yeast will find its way to the sugar and it'll eat the sugar. But to me, I think it spreads it out throughout the wine a little bit better. So it gives you a better taste in the end. If you're looking to just make alcohol, just pour the sugar in, pour the juice in, put the yeast in, and you'll make alcohol. The yeast will do its own job. But I think it comes out tasting better if you mix it up quite well. Alright, so it's nice and mixed up. Finish pouring your cherry juice in. At this point, I'm going to hold off just a little bit. So, I always mess up saying this, maraschino cherries. I do a whole jar, again from Walmart. Stems all, just put them all in there because later we're going to transfer them over into another container and all the stems and cherries will get thrown away. This is one, yes, it gives it a little bit more sugar, but to me it gives it a little bit more flavoring. I already made one batch that was just the Walmart Juicy Juice cherry juice by itself, and it was drinkable and it got you drunk, but it was just missing some flavor, lacking some flavor. So this is my recipe that I've come up with that I enjoy, and I hope you enjoy it too. And I'm dropping cherries all over the place. Just make it easier. Just dumping the rest of the juice in. This is kind of one of those, you only get one take at it, so hope it turns out good. All right, so there, we got our cherries in, we got our sugar in. We're gonna top off just a little bit more of our cherry juice. You don't want to fill it all the way up because this thing's going to start fermenting and it's going to make gas, so you don't want it accidentally boiling over the top here. I use this as my example of one looks like this fermenting. This is actually cran raspberry juice. It's my first go. I'm interested in seeing how that one turns out. But you can see I don't do the airlock with these because I'm not super fancy. I actually like the balloon method because once it stops fermenting, it stops making gas. So when the balloon dips over, you know that it's ready. You just keep it in the corner until the balloon dips over. When the balloon dips over, you've got a giant jug of alcohol. That one's still going. These, you got to actually sit there and watch the bubbles come bubbling through, or you got to test it and other methods of that, which I'll get into those videos. It's just, trying to be successful at these first. Okay, so we got our sugar, we got our cherries, we got our cherry juice. Next is our yeast. This is a Red Star packet that I opened up, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago. Taking it out of a Ziploc bag that I put it into. You'll see guys on the internet, they measure this out to the exact gram. You can't overpitch your wine, or pitch is basically when you add your yeast. And you see other guys, they take the yeast, they add it into water at a certain temperature and wait till it comes up to a certain temperature and stuff like this. This is a very hardy yeast. You can't, it's hard to kill it. You either got to do extreme cold temperatures or extreme hot temperatures. And it doesn't matter if you pour a whole entire packet into this or if you just pour a couple of sprinkles into this. If you pour a whole packet, just you pour a whole bunch of yeast and it'll make the alcohol really fast. If you pour a couple of sprinkles into it, it'll just take a long time because they'll multiply, and eventually they'll multiply and they'll eat through all the sugars and you'll make your alcohol. So either way, it doesn't matter. But I try and get about 3 gallons out of each package. That way, I'm about a 2-week fermentation time. Yeah, and then I just put it back inside my package. And we'll be using this again. My lid on. Give it a shake up and down. Again, you don't have to do this. The yeast will come alive and it'll go hunt down all the sugars and it'll eat all of those sugars. Not a problem. I just do it because it kind of helps speed along the process. That way it starts fermenting a little bit faster and it finds all the sugars and everything a little bit faster. The last ingredients that I like to add to it are 2 cinnamon sticks. I think it gives it a nice little bit of flavoring to it. You don't have to add these. Again, it's up to you and what you find to be a great flavor. Just dunk them in. That's it. You're done. The very last part is your bloom, which I buy these from the dollar store. They come in like a 20 pack for $1. These usually come along with whatever winemaking, beer making equipment that you buy, and they're reusable, so there's nothing wrong with these. They work just great. I just like these for my get drunk alcohol, and the fact of, again, when it goes down, you know you have alcohol and it's ready to go. Take a pen, poke it through one side, poke it through the other side. So it technically has about 4 holes in it. Put it over the top. It'll take about 24 hours, and this balloon will be standing up just like this balloon over here. If after 24 hours it's not standing up, you can add a little bit more yeast to it just to give it a little bit of a kickstart. But otherwise, it's just a waiting game. Guarantee you within 2.5 days, it'll be standing straight up. I just like the 24-hour mark because that lets me know if it's standing straight up in 24 hours, then it should be done in about 2 weeks. Okay, so that one's all set. It's done. The next one is my grape juice wine, which my grape juice wine is literally just grape juice from Walmart. And I'm trying something a little bit different here. I've got a little bit of leftover cherry juice from that jar, and I'm going to pour some of my grape juice in it. And I go to about that top lip, because again, it's going to expand as it's fermenting and it gases up. So you got to get some of that juice out of there. If you just try and pour sugar and yeast in it, it'll boil over the top. But, you know, waste not, want not. Transfer them over into this jug, and we'll ferment this jug as well. So I'm interested. I've never done this before. I'm interested in seeing how the grape juice and cherry goes. So at this point in time, I'm just going to add a cup of sugar, add a cup of sugar, add a half a cup of sugar to this. Then I'm going to add the yeast to all, shake it up, add the yeast to all of them, and then put a balloon over the top of them, and I'm done. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned some stuff. I hope you found it entertaining. From the Tipsy Florida Beekeeper, bottoms up till next time.